Okay.
So here we are heading
There's no one watching.
on our way. I know that. Do it for the recording later on.
Okay.
Okay,
Goodbye,
so
Stu Leonards.
goodbye, Stu Leonards. Now that we figured out we need
Thank
two
you.
batteries.
Thanks for shopping at Stu's.
Thanks-
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for parking at Stu's.
And using it as a parking lot.
Thanks for waiting at Stu's. Thank you, Stu Leonards, for gathering information together. That's what we were doing.
Sprain Road. We're going on Sprain Road. But it's literally spelled the way if you, like, sprain your ankle.
Yeah, well, you know that. It's like Sprainbrook Parkway, right?
What?
That's like where we used to live near, is at Sprainbrook Parkway.
Why would Sprain do that? Why would it break Parkway? That's not nice to
Brook,
me.
not break.
Brook Park. Oh, okay.
All right, so this thing is telling me to get on to, what, south?
Sprain Road? It's turning that way.
Oh, who we got?
Echo Alpha.
Hey, Echo. What's it say?
I spy with my little eye perp ailerons.
That's right. That's right, you do.
Yay.
We are en route, Echo, to the Three Rivers Comic-Con. We got banners, we got books, we got the car.
In the new car, yep.
Yep, in the new car. That is indeed the case. And it's a quieter car, so it'll make it a little bit easier to be heard. To hear and be heard.
Yes. Yeah, I think it wants you to go this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Stu Under Dry. That's a pretty simple name for a street.
Alright. So, yep, that is the plan.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, these roads are terrible around here.
Indeed.
Getting out of those. Alright.
Excited? Yes, I am. We are excited. This is my first Comic-Con in an entire year. Or convention,
Yep.
basically.
First con in 15
Oh,
months.
Mrs. Dunsel. Hello.
Hey, Mrs. Dunsel. 15 months.
So long. Social
15
interaction.
whole months is how long it has been. It's been crazy. Crazy town.
Very crazy.
Yep. But we are here and ready to go. How are you, Mrs. Dunsel?
Mrs. Dunsel. Spell it out the English. This just stretching out the word. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh.
Yep, so we're just gonna merge onto this highway. The weird thing is, I thought we were going that way, but now, like, when you made that mistake and we turned around, ever since then we've been going this way.
Yeah. Well, because it's like the old way of crossing over the river, right? You can go one of two routes, and so we're now going the other route because it's faster.
Ooh, Little Arvanina. Little Arvania. I like that name. That's cool.
Little Arvania. So, yeah, we're
Thank
making
you for
our
telling me, Uncle.
we're making our way, chat. We are on the road. We realized that we have one of those automatic easy passes, they call them. You won't know what this is, Echo, but it's like basically an automatic thing, so that it automatically deducts tolls when you go over a bridge or something. It takes it out of an account. And I realized that because the old car is no longer functional and we don't have it anymore, we don't have the easy pass for
Mom
So
contacted us.
all right, that's fine.
But I didn't touch it. I didn't touch
Good.
it.
Glad you didn't touch it. We'll deal with it later. But anyway, yeah, so I went and I looked and I was like, oh man. But the place where we moved to Southern Connecticut. You folks know that. We're not telling them the specific spot, okay?
I know.
But we moved to Southern Connecticut, and in Connecticut, they don't have this tag at all. So they were just like, yeah, you know, if you want one, you can get one in the state that you do the most traveling. And I'm like,
what?
So
the whole point of it is that you're gonna travel places.
Yeah, like
to different places.
So I was like, all right, well then never mind. So that just means they'll charge us by mail. So they're gonna mail us a toll, which is gonna be confusing because I literally have not thought about tolls for I don't know how many years because I have an Easy Pass in New York, so you just drive around with it, and then you get charged, you get put in your card. And I haven't driven on a highway in 15 months, so you know.
I mean, no, I think that's an understanding. I think you have driven on the highway, but
I've driven on the highway, but I haven't taken a long trip.
I gave the same nickname to your mother during the family gathering last year, Little Arvini. I can't say it. Arvinia. She approved and disliked Mrs. Arv.
Oh, is that true?
Oh yeah, remember? Oh yeah, I remember now. Oh my gosh, I'll go off. I completely remember. Remember when Mom was doing that she was raving about how she didn't like being called Mrs. Arv and like she should be Arvinia, and she was like sounds epic, and you're like, but it's Mrs. Arv. It's the whole film. And me and Mom were like yelling at you about the Mrs. Arv thing.
This all comes from This is because my last name when we got married, my Mrs. Arv's last name, maiden name,
Emerson
was
Vanessa,
don't tell that. It was hyphenated, okay?
Yeah.
So it was a hyphenated last name.
Oh, hi, Garlic Tofu.
What's up, Garlic Tofu? Hello.
And Triffid?
Yeah, Triffid, man. Say Triffid. So it was a hyphenated last name. And so I was like, all right, well, you know, like I wasn't automatically going to just make her take the man's name. I was like, no, you know, necessarily. We can, you know, I said.
Then she tried to fix the name.
So she was like, so she tried to fix it. She's like, well, why don't we combine your names together into one name? And I'm like, are you what? I'm like, no, how about instead we hyphenate the name so we have 3 names? And she was like, no. So she ended up taking my last name. But I wanted to be clear, I was not objecting to taking another name, but I'm not going to combine them together. And my name is blah, 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 blah. My name is not,
I have to say, what she came up with is like basically gibberish.
It was gibberish, right? It was gibberish.
Is my nickname S, Garlic Tofu? Oh, cool. Echo Alpha says, oh, we have a community challenge to boost the stream.
Oh, nice. Today? All right, this is going to be interesting. We'll see if we can do a community challenge. Well, this is...
What's that?
It's where they use channel points, and which is like you get channel points just for watching the channel and for being a subscriber and stuff. And you can give them to various things, including this. And if you do it enough, then they boost it, and they put it different places on Twitch so other people might see it. For the people who want to see the travel stream of going to Comic-Con, which, you know...
Oh, Garlic Tofu, you can call me Zenny, by the way.
Yeah.
They asked, I forgot what you like to be called now, whatever it is, let me know. And it's like, but you're not actually that little, though. Correct! And Kalen is not mini. He's not mini Arv.
He's not mini
He's technically
anymore.
Little Arv, and I'm medium Arv?
He's going to be 5 next month. He's actually 2.5 weeks away from being 5 years old,
Nope.
my son.
No.
Yeah, she doesn't, but she's
No.
refusing. She's like, that's not...
Nope.
5. He's going into kindergarten in the fall.
No.
Kindergarten.
No.
Kindergarten.
Pre-K.
When you say kinder, I
Pre-K.
say garden. Kindergarten.
Pre-K. And Echo Alpha says, and for being active in the chat, and if boost exceeds 100%, the stream gets pushed up to the front page of Twitch.
Right.
Garlic Tofu says, hey, I have news though. I just saw our next Kickstarter and already got Project We Love, and we haven't launched yet.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Yeah, I saw that. That's the Romanian folktale one, I believe. I actually saw that you've been tweeting about it, and I know about it. But yeah, I didn't do anything because it hadn't started yet. So I was like, okay, that's great. That's awesome. I wish all the best for that, and hopefully that will get funded immediately. What's the goal? What's the goal for that?
It says Tuesday is when it's happening. They said. I'm just calling them they because I have no idea.
That's fun. You've met Garlic Tofu.
I have.
Yes, at Gen Con.
Cool.
Garlic Tofu is 1/2 of Athos Arts. That published Icarus and all that.
I know what Athens Arts did.
Yes.
You talk about them. Garlic Tofu said, complicated. We are setting it at 35,000, but we need 125,000 for all the illustrations.
I think that's 3,500, honey, not 35,000. I'm gonna guess.
3500.
Yeah, 3,500.
$3,500.
I was gonna say 35,000.
I'm sorry, I'm not good with numbers.
It's fine. It's fine. I was just like 35,000.
I got the second one right.
3,500.
Yes, Gog Tofu. I'm sorry. I know 3,500. I'm sorry. Okay, she works. Good to know.
Okay, and then she needs to. Okay. Cool. I mean, I know
it's okay. We're teaching you too.
It's a great project, and
Yay.
I remember hearing about it before, so it is definitely a great project.
Okay, so it says in 3.9 miles we're gonna go turn
on the bridge, right? Okay, that's fine.
I don't know if it's.
So yeah, we are driving right now through New York City, chat. We are currently moving through New York City, getting ready to head over into Pennsylvania on our trip west to the area of Pittsburgh, the Steel City, the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the greatest American football team.
Miss Duntle, yes, it is beautiful weather. Indeed.
It is, yeah.
It's great traffic too.
It's great traffic.
Echo Alpha says it's always 100 when it's double zero. Okay, yes, I understand. Echo Alpha.
You're gonna get more people.
No,
now.
I don't want math right now. Gog Tofu says Pittsburgh is one of my favorite places. I love it so much.
It really is a great city. It really is. It really is a beautiful city in a lot of ways. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's not really about the steel. It's very cultural. A lot of universities and colleges, obviously the Three Rivers. And that stadium, I still would argue that the Pirates Stadium that you and I have been to.
That I never got to see the kids run around.
I know. But that is one of the most beautiful stadiums, I think, in America in baseball. It's a really nice stadium.
Yeah, Echo Alpha. Echo Alpha says, I blame Steelers for everything that gets stolen in Pittsburgh.
It's stolen in Pittsburgh.
Because it's their Steelers.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, Wenchkin says,
hey, Wenchkin,
looks
what's
like
up,
an
man?
awesome day out there today. By the way, hey, Arv.
Good to see you, Wenchkin. How you doing, man? Yes, it is. How you doing, Wenchkin? How's your back? Wenchkin is from Australia, and Wenchkin decided he would just break his back. He's like, I'll just break my back. So, and he was like, oh yeah, no big deal. I broke my back.
Triffin said, what did you say you were driving on? I used to be on Route 3 all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say what we were driving on because I have no idea.
We are on, we're on 87 South.
Ah, okay.
We are on 87 South, and we're going to be heading down until we get to the George Washington Bridge. And then we shall head west over the Hudson River.
Yay. Yeah, I remember when I was at the Hudson River, and like each year we always did a testing where would help as one of the schools help test the waters to see like the different chemicals and all that. Mm-hmm. And I remember last year, I had worn the fishing suit, and the one thing I didn't like about it was always that they never really paid attention because I literally got water in my boots for some reason, and so one of the kids in my class, Noble, actually was nice enough to lend me a pair of socks because my pair of socks got soaking wet because I guess my boots weren't tall enough to go inside the water.
Yeah.
But the water was nice. Morinda says, hello, wherefore are we, I don't know that because it's covered, we feeling down to Pittsburgh and at Route 87, and she said, wow, Little Arv is growing so big.
Yep.
And then Wenchkin says, back is getting better. Had CT scan the other day in 3 weeks, and in 3 weeks have regrown 5% of the lost bone, so that's 20% overall improvement. But today is a bad pain day, but we are on improve.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you're improving overall. I'm sorry you're hurting today, and listen,
just next time, don't try to break your back.
Yeah, please don't. Well, it was a funny story when he explained it. Like they basically pulled him down. His partner pulled him down by accident and like on the ice, and he ended up like going down his back. But just
okay.
Ixnay on the breaking your back act bay. All right, just take it easy.
It's like kids in my class when like I forget there was this one time where like one of the kids where like I forget who, but one of the kids got hurt,
mm-hmm.
and like one of the kids got hurt, and we guys were just like, guys, like I was just like, guys, listen, just don't do that next time, And he's like, I didn't mean to fall. I'm like, well, of course, I know, but maybe just next time, just don't fall. If you just don't fall, it works.
It was like you were hilarious.
And then he just gave me he just gave me his classic look of seriously, and I was like, okay, all right, I'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
Winkin says, I know, right? It's a lot of that I carry. Arv says accident, but my wife might have been trying to get rid of me.
It would have been a bit strange. Like, oh, it was a total accident.
I'm so glad
I'm so sorry that I accidentally pulled him down in an effort to break his back. It was an accident until she broke you over her knee like Bane, right? It's like, oh, Mr. Wetchkin, I expect you to die. That's how that went down.
All right, 2.8 mi miles.
So yeah, we are.
Echo Alpha says, now since we have our Nia with us, I have a question for you. How are you finding your new home and neighborhood? It's good. So what are kids these days into Snapchat, Instagram, something else? Oh boy, this is totally something you would get from me. I'm the technology expert here. I mean, TikTok's a huge thing, I still know.
You watch YouTube stuff.
What?
You watch YouTube stuff.
Yes, I watch YouTube stuff. I know one of the famous YouTubers is SS Sniper Wolf. Everyone's obsessed with her. She's like I think she comments on videos. I've seen them once. I don't really watch her.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is that there's kids in my neighborhood, like, I mentioned one YouTuber that I watch because I enjoy their content, and they're like, oh my gosh, that person was so 2017. I'm like, well, they're still around. Like, just because they were like cool in 2017, I still watch their stuff, and they post like all the time. So I'm like, you know what, I like their stuff. I think their stuff is cool. Because like they have like, it's these group of 3 friends who have their separate channels. And then they'll.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah, and then and it's cool because their videos are really funny.
So 2017.
Like and they're like, oh, he's so 2017. I'm like, okay, cool. He had a weird studio called. I watched this weird dude with a sixpence caps and glasses. He has a weird studio called Winco Studios. He's not professional at all.
That guy, you can't trust that guy. Who said that?
Echo Alpha.
Yeah. Very smart, very smart. Did Miranda say something about wherefore? Did I hear Miranda say that?
About what now?
You said Miranda said something like wherefore.
It says, what are kids into these days?
No, before that.
The Echo Alpha says, how are you finding your new home and neighborhood?
All right, I don't know. It was further on. Never mind.
I'm sorry, Dad.
No, that's fine. That's okay. That's no problem.
I'm also curious on Little Arv is finding in the new home. It's pretty great. I mean, I have a window that like is supposed to, I guess, to look out on the ocean, but the trees are too tall, so I can't see the ocean. But besides that, I mean, there's this girl and her little brother across the street who are really friendly. I'm now part of this group called Flowers for Friends, which is, what Echo Alpha said, hello, wherefore are we traveling down to Pittsburgh? That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Yes, why are we traveling? Because we're going to Three Rivers Comic-Con.
Yeah, but they already answered that question
right,
as well. That's why I didn't make it big difference.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so yeah, Echo Alpha Flower Power. So basically, Flowers for Friends is a group of girls and like some of these adults who will plant a bunch of flowers, and then, which I've only gone to one of their meetings, it's really just a bunch of girls having fun, and I really enjoy it. It's a great community, and so we'll do that. Then when it gets to the summer, we'll put the flowers together into little bouquets, and then we'll sell them at the market, and they go all the way into October every single Saturday, so they get a lot of money, and once they get all that money, and they give it to the homeless. So, and it's really worth it because like the girls in the group, like we had a meeting where they like talked about what each kid was like is doing over the summer, and then for the rest of the time they were just chatting. So it was fun. And some of the girls there that I talked to, they're really fun. It's nice finally having the like group of friends that like are actually really great and all that. So it's nice. And also it's also nice that I can just like pick up I also am into rollerblades now. I don't think
she's got rollerblades.
Dad got me a pair of rollerblades, which are awesome. So now I'm starting to rollerblade, which I'm actually decently good at because it's basically like ice skating on land. So I'm decently good at ice skating. So
Wenchkin, no rollerblades. All right, like no rollerblades. We don't want any ice skating on land with you,
Stop.
especially in a
Stop.
country which tries to
Speaking of
kill
which,
you
Kenny,
anyway.
They said you could join the Cindy Wolper Club because she also wanted girls to have fun.
Cyndi Lauper, yeah. Girls, they want to have fun.
Oh my gosh. My
Oh,
grandma
girls
would
just
play that
want-
song in the car
That's all
a
they
billion
really
times.
want.
Do
course she did.
do any of you know the song? It's like, these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do.
Yeah, it's
Like,
older than Cyndi Lauper, though.
Great
That's-
balls of fire. Like she always did all those songs. Anyway, which kid said rollerblading is awesome. I also love rollerblade. Isn't that the same? Did you spell it different? They said roller BLADING, and then separate, and then rollerblading is one word with an E instead of between the D and the O.
Oh, that's yeah.
I don't get it.
It was British versus. Wait, is that spelled differently though?
Yeah.
Like British spelling / Australian using the adding extra U's and stuff like that.
Rollerblading.
Yeah. There was a person when I was in college. This was my junior year, I believe. There was a person that we had this big, one of the mega rooms, like lecture rooms where you could fit 150
cool.
students or whatever. And they had people who would come in. This one person would come in with rollerblades and would walk down. And there must have been like 35 steps.
Walk?
Click, clack, click, clack.
They would
click,
walk?
Clack. They would step like left, right. So they didn't take their rollerblades off. And we were always like, first of all you need to do is take one wrong step, and that's the end of you as a student, I guess, and your life. But secondly, I'm like, can you just take the go to a seat in the back or take the rollerblades every time? Because this class met 3 times a week. Click, clack, click, clack.
Here's the thing. It's possible for you to walk while railing rollerblades. I've done it before. By the way, 1.7 miles. I've done it before, but it's hard. Rollerblading can be a bit more difficult than ice skating, because when you're doing on ice skating, you can stop because the ice will just sort of keep you in place. But a street is like, no, you're a straight street. I'm not going to do that. You could go down the hill and go with gravity. That's fine with me.
Yeah, you negotiate with the street. The street doesn't want to negotiate.
I have to use my brake, which isn't that easy to do when I'm on a hill or when I'm going down a hill. So I've tripped 5 times and fallen into the grass.
Mm-hmm.
One time I tried to get up on this area, and Grace was like, "You can do it," and I was like, "I can." Douche falls onto the pavement, and she's like, "You got it?" I'm like, "I'm doing great." Morinda says, Little Arv can does not mean should. You can drink a gallon of milk in one sitting. Technically, can does not mean.
Yeah, well, right.
So I'm getting math lessons, and I'm getting.
He's right. You can, but you shouldn't. But yeah, no. Little Arv is.
You can jump down. You can jump down, fly down a path, and you have not been on before, and end up in a pond as well, but you should not.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, correct, yeah.
Oh man.
You can touch poison ivy, but you shouldn't.
Exactly. You can do these things, but you should not.
Oh, Bill Nye, hello. Build Nye?
Oh yeah, what's up, Build?
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought Bill Nye the Science Guy had entered. I'm like, whoa, Bill Nye.
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to say.
How are you?
Dad, I was trying to
Big
say.
fan of
I was
your work.
really trying to pronounce it right.
No, it's fine. That's fine. A big fan of your
Wenchkin
work.
says that was my first rollerblading experience. Morinda. So I want to get political. Here's the troll Arv and Elron, but let's not.
You want to get political to troll me? Oh man.
Wenchkin flew down this path and ended up in a pond. What?
See.
Okay, that's possible though.
Did you land on your back when this happened? I want to make sure that.
Garlic Tofu says you can't troll Arv and Elron.
It's true.
He's too wise for that.
Oh well, thank you.
1.12 now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I have the phone, so I have to tell Dad how to get to certain locations. But I'm used to it. My grandpa, his huge thing was always Garlic Tofu tried telling Track and Spear that. My huge thing was with when I was with Grandpa. He always would give me the phone and be like, all right, so if we get lost, it's your fault. Now that's funny, but I was 9 or 10. So at that age, I was terrified. I was terrified of messing up and making Grandpa mad at me when he never really gets mad at me. And I was so scared, and it was traumatizing, actually. It was like a thing that I still remember to this day. That has scarred me to this day of, if I don't say it right, you shall fall. We shall go the wrong way and get lost.
My father-in-law is such a delightfully understanding individual.
Yes. One kid said, nah, did the pig face splat into the horrid duck water.
Oh my gosh. Well, right, nobody ever tells you always like, how do you skate? The issue is, how do you stop? Like, that's the issue,
you used a brake.
Well, yeah, but you didn't have the easiest time doing that when you first,
Well, it's definitely, I mean, if you're going down a super high hill, which I don't think you should be doing, if you're going down a super high hill, I think the best thing to do is to try to lean backwards as far as possible, and,
close your eyes.
No, let me finish.
Nearer, my God, to thee.
let me finish, Dad, jeez. So first thing you're going to try to do is, if you're looking either way on the side of the street, try to find grass as soon as possible. Try to turn to that direction and find the grass, because the grass will break your fall. But besides that, I got nothing for you because I'm not really experienced. Marinda says, Little Arvin, are you still interested in voice acting? And so, how's it going? Oh yeah, I'm still doing it. I still have a lot of fun. Me and Zach are doing as he's teaching me.
One Mr. Zach Clay has been her instructor all this year, actually, in voice acting.
Triffid says, inserts Rickroll link to Troll Arv, Little Arv, and channel. Which can break. What is this break you speak of? It's on the back of your rollerblade, your right rollerblade. It's always supposed to be there.
When you say break,
do you mean
Triffid, I'm never going to give chat up. I'm never going to let them down. I'm never going to turn around and hurt you. Never going to say goodbye.
Marinda, stopping skating is easy. Avoiding getting hurt, that's a lesson for another day.
Right, exactly.
Echo Alpha, that explains Zach knows streaming. I was a young male, these things you speak of sound like common sense. Why do you expect me to do anything sensible?
Common sense.
Marinda, about the voice acting, yeah, me and Zach Clay have been doing it. Actually, I got my first little gig of some sort, was where I did a surprise reading for my little brother's class. And so I came on and he had no idea it was me. And it was really cute. When he came on, he's like, they're like, do you know that person? He's like, that's my sister. And it was super cute. And so I read the book, The Day the Crayons Quit, which is, if you're doing voice acting, it is a great book to do for voice acting. It has a lot of cool voices you can try out.
Yeah.
So I did that. I had a lot of fun.
It's a powerful, dramatic tale of basically the working class crayons rising up to take over the means of production against the capitalist bourgeoisie.
Who's completely happy.
Yeah, the green crayon is the boxer of this story, but really,
probably one of the favorite voices I did was for Pink, and where she's talking about how like you never use me and you think I'm a girl's color, you know. So guess what voice I did for that? Alright, listen up, Duncan. You not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? By the way, please tell your little sister that she did a fabulous job of coloring inside the lines. Now, back to us, okay? Echo Alpha says, I try to do many voices whenever I can. That'll help me bring D&D adventure to life with Shadow Cruise Live.
Well, of course, Little Arv's been getting a lot of practice with said
and then
stuff.
Miranda said, I see our Vanilla Ron is already instituting political ideology to Little Arv. I see 15 years Little Arv becoming a hardcore conservative.
Hardcore conservative. Yeah.
What?
I think that unlikely. Am I getting off exit 7?
Yes.
Okay.
And Build Nye said, down with
bourgeoisie.
Okay.
Down with the bourgeoisie.
That word, I saw this one,
there we go.
There was this one TikTok where like the audio was like completely, people use that audio like a billion times, and it was like back in this time, this man, I forget what they said, but this man replaced all the birds with robotic bird spies who are spying over us. At this time, the birds work for the bourgeoisie. I did it.
Birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Marinda, Arvinel, Ron, and Little Arv. It's well known children are always opposite of their parents.
Oh, really?
Echo Alpha away. Marinda, T Danger Million and all that. I don't think you're gonna get that from me, but
I wasn't that opposite my parents. I mean, my folks were. I'm probably more. I was more liberal than my parents were, but not by a lot. They were pretty left. And so. Except
for that one thing with the MacArthur.
Yeah, well, that was interesting. But that, that I think just has something to do with how my dad reacted to people. I've told this on chat before, but my father served in the Korean War. He was on the wrong coast, so he never got into fighting, but he was in the Navy at the time. He was very young. And so when there was the big battle historically between President Harry Truman and General Douglas MacArthur about whether to get involved, whether to bomb across the river into China, which could have brought China into the war. Little Arv has been doing the history of conflict with me as one of her classes while she's been homeschooled this year because of the pandemic. So she learned about this.
Echo Alpha says, what are we getting from these streams and social interactions with you and Arvinia is Richard Castle with his daughter Alexis, aka Nathan Fillion, and Molly C. Quinn.
Okay.
Little Arv turns into Alex Keaton. Not that she will turn to Family Ties TV reference. I don't get any of these jokes.
Anyway, so there was the big question about whether or not they were going to get involved. And so what happened was Truman fired MacArthur because Truman was the president, and it doesn't matter whether MacArthur was a general, like that was it. So that's what he did. And my father always thought that Truman was wrong and that MacArthur was 100% right. And I knew people, including other relatives, who hated MacArthur. And I think my dad was wrong. I think that MacArthur was wrong. I think that Truman was right. I don't think it would have been a bad idea to do that. About that. Truman was wrong about a lot of other things, but he was right about that. But yeah, but that was, I don't know, my dad, because he was like, MacArthur was a genius. I'm like, okay. It wouldn't be the first genius that didn't really know how to, actually be a good person. Being a genius doesn't ensure anything except being a genius, so even if it's true.
Yep.
So that's what we're looking at.
Yay. I mean, the history of Echo Alpha says everybody's wrong about something, everybody's right about something.
Yeah, that's quite usually true.
Quotes. Winchkin said, of course, Truman was right because he was true. Because he was true would be hard believing him as a false man.
It's a false man, yeah.
I've actually thought of that before. The true man, like that.
The true man.
I mean, every single time when you say Truman, I always think of Trump. Truman and Trump. I know they're not the same. Truman. My brain makes the weirdest connections, I gotta say.
But anyway, yeah. So no, my dad. I was on board with a lot of what he said politically. Not all of it, but
0.1 mile.
Okay, and it's 95 south, right?
7.
No, I know. Actually 7, but does it say 95 south?
I can't see that part. I don't think it says. Marinda, see, conservative in the making.
Alright, there we go.
When this is the one moment that I forget what conservative is. I know it's bad, but
conservative is right wing.
Okay, so
it's I mean, it's not necessarily bad. I don't agree with it in most of those positions, but anyway, I don't want to get into a big political thing right now. But
it's not happening, Marinda. Echo Alpha, so does mine. I know how the feels. It's weird sometimes how words and names can sound like the same, but not the same.
Yep.
Marinda, hey, I forgot what conservative is. I know it's bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Echo, what we learned today, Echo, was that Norway continually turned down being in the European Union. What is up with that? We kept seeing all these descriptions of countries that were like, we join, and Norway said no.
No.
And Norway said no, and Norway denied it.
No.
What's up with what makes Norway special? Why is Norway some special snowflake that it doesn't get to be in the European Union?
I thought you were talking about United Kingdom being a special snowflake.
They are. Well, listen. Wenchkin would agree with me that the UK is a special snowflake. I mean, because Australia broke free from
Triffid, all true Scotsman facility. It's all in the name.
Yeah, the all true Scotsman fallacy.
No way. No way. Norway? No way.
Norway, no
Get
way.
it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't...
Alright, so you're gonna go around in a circle.
Okay.
That's what it shows on the map.
Yeah.
Morinda, the United Kingdom is pretty halfway between the mainland Europe and America in all ways, except for their physical location. Echo Alpha were Scandis, man, and Vikings. Bah, humbug.
Yeah, but listen, but
Some
Denmark didn't have this
snowflakes are more
problem.
special than others.
You know, but Denmark didn't have this problem. Finland didn't have this problem.
Bah.
Like, the rest of Scandinavia didn't have this. Sweden, all these Scandinavian countries mostly were like, yeah, European Union for us. But not that. You know, I mean, so we had the European Union for all of those.
Morinda, oh, bah, humbug, one of those terms which transcended in their real meaning to mean something new. Yeah, I mean, one thing that worries me is when I try to make up names for my characters, like special names, I'll search up every single name to make sure it's not a bad word. I always do it. I always search up every single name, because I'm always so worried. When I should, like, it's upsetting now that there are so many words that are bad. And the thing is, yes, I know what the F word is. I'm not gonna, like, when we were at the park, with you-know-who, she was like, I was like, I knew it, and she's like, oh, you know that, Mom, she knows the word, she knows, I'm like, I don't use it, and she's like, she knows the word. Of course she was joking, but still.
I know. It would be hard for you to exist in society and not know the word at this point. Those are words which are pulled out under very rare circumstances when no other word will do. And there have been moments.
Dead. I know.
You know.
I know.
All right. I'm just letting you know. I'm just giving you more information to work with.
I know.
And something else you should know is this. And also,
What?
nothing.
What?
I was pretending to lecture you about stuff when in fact I wasn't going to actually do that.
Okay.
So yeah, we are
You don't want the chat to deal with it.
Yeah.
Echo Alpha, I just try to have my own vocabulary when it comes to cursing, swearing. Actually, one thing where like I've actually taken on doggone it from my grandma, so that's one thing that I use that word a lot. But and another thing is that, like, you know, like CRAP.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying that, when I get mad, I'll be like, oh, crib.
Crib.
And it's funny, but it works. Because I'll be like, oh, crib. And that way I don't say it, but I can still get my anger out.
See, that's what my dad used to do. And my dad actually never used the F word. My dad would use words like, he's like, well, if you ever feel like that, son, you can always use the word blast. Like, blast it. And I was always like, I think if
Thunder
I'm really,
and lightning.
Yeah. I was like, if I'm really angry, well, blast it. I was like, I sound like, I mean, this is the 1980s, right? I'm gonna get really upset, and I'm like, now we're going to bring you back to the 19th century. Blast it. Oh, blistering barnacles, like, you know, Captain Haddock swears or whatever.
I mean, one thing that I've actually always done, Dad already knows this, but I actually really love goats. Just to tell you, chat, I love goats.
Yeah, baby goats in particular.
Yeah, but adult goats are pretty cute too.
Oh, all right. So just goats.
I really like goats. Baby goats are adorable, but yeah. So one thing, and I can imitate goats. So one thing that I'll do is when I get angry, I'll bow like a goat. Not even joking. And my dad, my mom, they've gotten used to us. I'll just bow like a goat. And people are always, they're like, why do you do that? I'm like, well, I don't want to say words, so I'll just bow like a goat and get it over with, you know? Like, Winchkin, yes, goats are awesome, I agree. But, yeah, goats are great. Like, so, like, when I get angry, I'll just bow like a goat, and now I can get the anger out, and, you know, it works. It works.
I feel like that's not just anger with you, though. I feel like that's if you're stressed, all of a sudden.
Yes, of course, yes.
You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Triffid, goats are cute, but often can Cantankerous.
Cantankerous, yes.
Miranda, Little Arv, what is your favorite piece of goat trivia or something more people should know about goats? Oh, jeez. I actually don't know enough about goats. I should probably research goats more. Something I know about goats that other people probably wouldn't know about goats.
Well, I don't know about the wouldn't know, but like, I can think of one bit of trivia that you know about goats.
That they're great.
No, their eating habits.
That they eat grass.
They eat more than that.
They'll eat a lot of different stuff.